just here, like we put up 2 finals poll questions. You did one, I did one.
Mm-hmm.
We not coordinate that. But I am just genuinely curious. This is the last series of the NBA season. All we have to look forward to is the draft. NBA Finals, where are we at? Excited?
I am excited. I don't quite understand an early peek ahead to I might slip in a Spraguing the line bet today. I don't get the line at all in the game tonight.
It's a lot of points.
I don't understand it.
A lot of points.
We are coming off an Eastern Conference Finals where they were a double-digit favorite in Game 1 at home against Indiana, and you were screaming from the mountaintops, take the points, take the points, take the points, and they should have lost the game and did not cover that first game of the conference finals. You give me 6.5 for Luka, I'm taking that all day and running with it. I am excited, though, because, one, it's a new face in the finals. It's a new team in the finals in Dallas. And then I think just the amount of pressure that is built up in Boston, man. This has been a long-term run that they've been on that at one point included Kyrie Irving. They made a conference finals when Kyrie Irving was there. Didn't play in it because he was hurt, but they made a conference finals early on. We have seen Brown and Tatum knocking on the door for how many years now? And I think all the pressure is on their sideline because of that factor. And so you tie in those storylines, what it would mean for Boston to get one finally, to get over the hump, what it would mean for Luka, a new face of the NBA, to get his first championship and where his career would go from there, for Kyrie to get another one with a different team, with a different player. I can't wait for it, man. When you give me a surprising finals matchup, not surprised that Boston is there, a little bit surprised that Dallas is there. And I genuinely don't have a feel of who can win the series. I like Dallas, but I don't know if that's just my heart telling me that because I don't want Boston to win. I don't know who's going to win. It's a surprising matchup. I can't wait for it to start tonight.
You know what's interesting is I've kind of had somewhat similar feel of the whole, like, who's going to win, what's your prediction thing, because that's what they do in sports media. And I'm almost kind of shocked that I don't know who's going to win because it should be Boston.
Should be.
This shouldn't be much
but they
of
have
a conversation.
Sure, but it is not even close to who has the best player in the series.
Yeah, but does Boston have 2 of the best 3 players in the series?
Debatable.
Yeah.
Depending on how Kyrie Irving plays. That is debatable.
If you take it a step further, they have 3 of the 4, right?
Yes. That I will give you that.
So I don't know, man. They're a loaded team. They're getting Kristaps back.
Sure.
I
paint the picture of you. It's a 5 minutes left in the game.
The
and
clutch time.
It's a 5-point game, 4-point game, 3-point game.
Yep.
And I give you the ball in the hands of Jason Tatum, and I give you the ball in the hands of Luka Doncic. Who are you feeling better about?
That's a very fair question to ask because that's tends to what happens in close series and teams that are close to each other. Boston also was really good in clutch time.
They were.
It wasn't just as simply like, hey, our quote-unquote number 1 did it. I know that's it for Dallas, but for Boston, it was more of a team-oriented thing. So some nights it's Brown, some nights it's Tatum. Kristaps had some moments before the injuries. How big was Drew Holiday defensively and offensively at the end of those Indiana games? Mm-hmm. So they're collectively a clutch team, whereas Dallas, Kyrie, we know is clutch. He's hit a big shot in the finals, right? And Luka loves that moment. But if Boston plays things right defensively, is P.J. Washington going to hit that shot with a minute left?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Can they play it that well defensively, though, to get the ball out of both Kyrie and Luka Doncic's hands?
They're going to absolutely be better, I think, defensively than Minnesota. I don't know what Minnesota was doing there. How many times did they just switch and leave a big on an island, not send 2? I would have rather Kyrie and everybody else beat me than let Luka do what Luka did against Minnesota. I was stunned of how poorly defensively Minnesota played against Dallas.
I'll be curious how effective and how much part of the plan Kristaps Porzingis will be initially. I think that's key. How effective will the Mavericks support players be crashing the offensive glass? That was a huge thing for them in the playoffs so far.
Man,
Boston,
they really took it to Minnesota in that regard.
Yeah, Boston appears to be more equipped to handle them on the glass, not give them as many second chances. And then defensively, how will the Mavericks, where do they try to put Luka to be most effective? And for Boston, will they try to isolate him with somebody and try to go after him one-on-one to break down the Mavericks defense?
I think the interesting part for me, can I throw a quick take at you? A little bit of quick takey here early in the morning?
Yeah, I'm already regretting a Quake take I threw out a day or two ago.
You're already regretting it.
Well, is LeBron going to be a sixth man of the year for Dan Hurley? I don't think that's happening. So
He should be. If he was smart, that's the way he should go.
Yeah, well.
I think Dallas, the three teams that Dallas has played on their way to the NBA Finals are all better than anybody Boston's beat in the postseason. Indiana's the only one that you can throw at me.
Indiana's probably the one that I'd say, could Indiana beat the Clippers? I wouldn't be shocked by that.
Not shocked by it, but that's a toss-up series.
It's maybe a game 7, yeah, for
and
sure.
that was Dallas's first-round matchup.
Yeah, but
that's the part of it. Like
does that matter for this team? The Celtics team's been together. I mean, obviously Holiday and Kristaps are the new additions to this, right? But Derek White was on this team for the finals. Horford was there for the finals.
They were in the conference finals last year,
Tatum.
too. I mean, they went to Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals last year.
So, like, to your point, I've actually struggled with that because, yes, they've had the easiest route to a championship I've ever seen in my life.
Yes, not even close.
The East has been bad forever. This is the easiest one. But I don't know if any of that matters when you're talking about a team with this kind of pedigree, with this experience. I know we love to crap on Tatum. I certainly have said some stuff. But they're a very good team.
They are?
Like, they're a very, very good team. They won 60-plus games.
64.
The East route wasn't difficult. Does that matter? I don't know. I don't know if that matters with a team with this kind of experience.
I don't know if it matters. I look at Dallas, and I think it's why I'm giving them more of a fair fight than some people are. Because to your point originally, there's a 14-win gap between these two teams.
It's a 1 versus
a 5.
The 1
and when that happens
versus
in
a 5.
any other time in the NBA history, it is a no-brainer of who's going to win. Like, this isn't even a debate. Boston in 4 or Boston in 5? That's the question. But it, to me, is more of a toss-up series. And part of the reason I'm going there is, one, Luka's the best player in the series, and I don't even think it's close. And two, they have proven a lot of people wrong. Some people didn't think they could beat the Clippers in the first round. Then you go against the number 1 seed without home court advantage in Oklahoma City in round 2.
That's where I had them losing.
And then you get Minnesota in the third round, who everybody thought they just knocked out the defending champs in Game 7 on their own floor. They're not going to beat Minnesota. And Edwards is Michael Jordan. He's him. That's what everybody was raving, and I was rooting for him because I had a ticket on him. But they have proven me wrong time and time again, and a lot of it comes down to just having guys make plays late in games because you trust Luka and you trust Kyrie. I also have a hard time getting out of my mind the fact that Indiana, without just pure stupidity, should have been up 2-1 in the Eastern Conference Finals. They had no business losing Game 1.
Should have got a split.
That's the first time we've ever seen an NBA team lose with like a 3-point lead with 5 seconds left or whatever the situation was.
10 seconds.
They don't call a timeout. Then you have the Game 2 game was that was a bloodbath. Game 3 they blew a lead and had horrible plays down the stretch. Game 4 they probably should have won. Like, they very easily could have been 2-2 going into Game 5 back into Boston against a team who didn't even have their best player in the second, Game 3 and Game 4 of that series. So I have a hard time getting that out of my mind of not only have they had an easy path, they were barely beating a team on an easy path and could have lost those games.